Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and I am a YouTube chess coach, and today we are going to be looking at the top 6 chess traps, starting from the least amazing to the most amazing. The number 6 on my list is the legal trap, and it begins with the e4, e5, and pretty standard stuff, fighting for the center, and it is at this point that the trap sets in. As it continues with a knight sacrifice. Well, black can say, whoa, this is a free queen, but the game is over in few moves. Now, going back, if white doesn't take the queen, but captures the knight back, then you can take the bishop, the queen, and if black takes your knight, your bishop, you can simply swing over, give a check, and pick up the knight. And even if it's black's best defense, you are still up a pawn. Now, the second on our list is the Noah's Ark trap. And to be honest, I don't know why it was named Noah's Ark trap. So if you have an idea why it was named the Noah's Ark trap, please, you can share with me in the description. And in this trap, it's all centered on the trapping of the bishop. As you solidify your center, kick away the bishop, and once the bishop moves, now at this point, white should be like, oh, I get back my pawn and I have an active queen. Now you hit it with the pawn push, it comes here, threatening to meet you on the f7 square and also hitting your rook, but you can simply counter it by developing your bishop. Now the queen comes to give you a check to your king and can simply block. And funny enough, the queen is kind of out of squares. It just has 2 safe squares to go to, and whichever square white goes to, you still trap the bishop. Now the fourth one on our list is the elephant trap. And this trap arises out of the Queen's Gambit. Queen's Gambit declined to be specific, and at this point you play knight to d7. Now this is actually a trick, because white can say, oh, I can take, and once black takes back, you can take again, and white and black's knight can't capture a knight because then his queen will be hanging. But surprisingly, you can still capture the knight, and after he takes, you develop your bishop, giving a check to the king. Notice how this king doesn't have any squares to move, and the only piece that can block the check to the king is actually the queen. And the moment the queen does it, you capture the queen with a check. The king must capture back, losing his castling right, and you capture the bishop. And now notice how you are 3 pawns up in material. Now the third one on our list is Asker trap, arising out of a Queen's Gambit decline, Albin counter-gambit. And here you push your pawn 1 square, and notice how the king is kind of exposed, so give him a check, and the knight can't really block because he can capture the knight with the pawn on d4. So he must block with the bishop, and then you can capture this pawn, threatening to capture the bishop as well. So the bishop here is forced to capture. Now you capture the pawn, giving a check to the king. If this king is to capture the pawn, he loses his queen, which obviously he wouldn't want to lose. So he moves up to e2, and then you promote, giving a check to the king. And it is not advisable for white to use the rook and capture, as you can give a check, hitting the king, and once the king moves away, you can pick up the queen. Now it is important to know there are other variations to this opening, but this is the most used variation in which the opponent definitely falls from. But the second on our list is the Rubinstein trap. Correct me in the comment section if I pronounced it wrongly. Now this Rubinstein trap begins out of Queen's Gambit, and both parties are getting their development equally. Not until black made this awful move, pushing the pawn twice, and you can notice that black unlike other traps, played into the hands of white. And thus, reason for this sacrifice. Now, black was not anticipating the attack or couldn't see the combinational motive to the end. Had black captured back and suddenly the queen is trapped. Yes, he can give up the queen, but white is definitely winning the game. Now, the first on our list is this Siberian trap, and this trap is actually mind-blowing to me because it carries the theme of double attack and carries the theme of double threats. Now, it all begins from the king pawn game, resulting into the Sicilian defense, and all was going well until this moment. After the white king castled, white set this little trap up by playing knight to g4. Now, this move looks like a waste of tempo as black doesn't have enough pieces to attack the h2 square, but suddenly black jumps in with the knight, hitting the queen and hitting the bishop. Now, note that you cannot capture this knight with your own knight because you blunder mate. Now, the best move is to go ahead and, capture the pawn and leave your queen hanging. Yeah, so that is that for the 6 top chess traps. Let me know in the comment section which one you enjoyed the most, and let me know the trap you want me to cover next. Till next time, thank you very much for watching.